as you would know, banks hate those imported ones, whether they're certified or not. They hate
That's right.
them because they come in a container, they open up, they all look similar. Yes, they might be high quality, and yes, they might not leak and they might be great, but banks don't seem to like them. So they won't value it as high. My name's Tim. I'm the owner of Affordable Modular Buildings. And for a long time now, we've been specialising in granny flats and granny flats for investment, mainly in Queensland and a little bit in New South Wales. Um, we're in an expansion mode right now where we're partnering with a bunch of people to provide these solutions. The difference, I guess, or the unique thing about us is we have a product that is speedy of construction. We can get construction done with 98% of the construction done off site with only 2% disruption on site. So, for example, most investors are looking for higher yield, as you know, and they buy a property and they need to get more rental return. So, a granny flat's a perfect situation if it comes in at a certain price point. So, for two bedrooms, most of the time, two bedrooms for investment purposes for us, where we've landed them for clients that are renting both properties on site once the granny flat's on site. Is somewhere between 100 to 150,000, depends on the area. It depends on the yield return that the advisor has given them of what they should aim for, the size of the scope of what the council is allowing, and things like that. So that's why it's between 100 or 150, because if we take some rural areas don't need all the bells and whistles of a really, really flash set out granny flat. And then other areas, suburbs around, Queensland or anywhere, they require something a bit more nicer. So during that phase of learning with our clients, our unique proposition is we work with their budget, understanding their finance, their needs, what's the rental return going to be. Let's not build something or provide fixtures
Not
and fittings that
feasible,
are over the top. Yeah. And so for us, we focus heavily on that, and that allows us to craft something where, we can put something on their block for under 150. It's two bedroom, it's comfortable, it's got plenty of storage, it's fully air conditioned, it's turnkey. The disruption on site is minimal. We can get it to a point where we're only on site for 4 to 5 days max for something that we're building. So that means that's good for the tenant. The tenants aren't asking the landlord for reduced rent for any purposes. It's crafty and easy to split the block with a fence and make it simple. It makes it very easy to sell to the tenant, whether they're existing or they're coming into a new lease. So that's the benefits of that. Apart from that, when we're turnkey, we handle the whole project from start to finish. So we take initiative in understanding, because I'm an investor and a landlord myself, about what's important. So obviously, not hardly any disruption, making sure the site is clean and safety managed, so that there's no chance of a tenant accidentally trying to sue a landlord because we left too much dirt on site or bad trenching or things like that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what I know to focus on to help the clients. And that's, I think, why Rocky and yourself, Rocky definitely reached out after meeting in Melbourne, and he goes, wow, that's pretty impressive what you're up to. So
That's right. That's right. And Rocky is in the meeting as well. Rocky, you want to say hi?
Hey Tim, apologies for being late. And yeah, so I was pretty excited after speaking with you, and I think our audience or our wider audience is going to be very much excited about this because they already have got investments, and how we can bump it together. That is what we are wanting to speak to you about. Now, Gurminder is sorry, my technology sucks right now. I cannot see you guys on camera. I don't know if you guys can see me or not, but definitely you can hear me, right?
Yes,
yep.
we can hear you. Yes.
All right. And now, Gurminder, are you recording the content already?
Yes, we are.
All right, perfect. So I will let you guys go ahead. Tim, what the idea was that we will use this recording for our clients and those who are not even our clients. This, I think, will benefit a lot of people. So I'll let you guys continue on this conversation, and I'll speak with you, Tim, in the evening.
Yep, sounds good.
Take care. Bye.
And
Bye,
Tim,
mate.
I do have a particular questions regarding your service. So the first question I want to ask, can you show us a journey of the client because you are providing end-to-end service to the clients. Can you please show the journey because how you get the approvals from the council if required and rest of the things how you can done it?
Yeah, well, a key thing when we were jumping into this space and starting to build these types of solutions was to partner with extremely good people. So we have a partnership with a certifier that'll service all of Queensland. And if we need to go into New South Wales, we've got a partnership with a town planner. Now, that town planning company is spread out across Queensland, New South Wales, and Melbourne. They do all areas.
Yeah.
And Council Approval Group is the company. And if we have any questions or queries or issues or concerns about the block and how it's going to be approved before we even take a deposit, we approach those two partners and we get everything we need to know about that. And we provide the pathway so we know. So there's nothing out of the question. So we'll do a development application for a client, and that can be code accessible if people understand what that is. Code accessible is like an easier form of DA. You know, it's not too stressful. You pay some money, you go through with the town planner, you get a DA, and then all of a sudden you can construct and you get a building approval.
And this is included in the whole cost, right?
Yeah, it's part of the identification at the start. So the good thing about us is like I've come from a different background of business. Over the years, I've been in 5 different industries and you know done really well in different industries, and it gave me a different insight to how this construction could work based on a manufacturing background as well. So the way we assess clients' needs is we just understand what the block is from what the block is and how to take that pathway forward to get the approvals and what type of construction we can do. But we can do that very quickly. So we do a free consultation call. And in that consultation call, we use a software that it determines all the parameters. We place the chosen size of the granite plate in the location where they're speaking about on the call. We can identify everything that we need to identify. And it'll give us, you know, ticks of approval straight away. Or if there's some issues, we'll make those phone calls with certifiers and town planners. Second step is we'll quote you within 48 hours. Now, some of our existing modules or existing plans and ideas line up really, really well with clients that are investing. And then we're working on some new ones because we know that there's probably 4 specific designs that would fit on any type of block that would be suitable for an investor to get the best return out of a 2-bedroom or even a 1-bedroom. So once we do that, we quote, goes to the estimating team, and the estimating team bring it back to me. At the moment, I'll be training 2 other people at the moment because we are growing and we are moving to a bigger factory to run a bit of a 24-hour shift soon. And that'll then go to the client. And then the client reviews all that information. It's very detailed. It's got a lot of detail. The quotes aren't small. They break it all up. It tells you what all the prices are for each different service, you know, plumbing connection, council approval, if it's DA approval, septic installation. We do the whole lot.
And is it same as like people when they're going to build a house, they can choose what appliances and what are the rest of the things they are going to choose. They can choose the quality of the house. Can they do the same with your product as well?
Yeah, they can. Like we have a range of choices because if you give too much option, I think it analysis by paralysis, right? There's too much. And we both know investors are mostly concerned about, yes, what's going to look like if they resell it. That's important. But mostly how much return am I going to get? And is the tenant going to be comfortable for a long period of time and keep renewing a lease? So that's really important. So that's where you need to focus around that design. So once they get the quote, after they get the quote, we do another meeting, and that's just another phone consultation, or it can be a factory tour, or sometimes we have to go on site if we think the site is tricky. Now we can build on any type of terrain. It can be a sloped block, it can be flat, it doesn't matter because everything's built up on posts.
That's right.
It's a very simple solution. All the new NCC requirements are met, because there's all these new requirements around the elderly and doorways, entries, and all that type of stuff. And that's pretty easy to comply with, so that's fine. And so we take that journey and then we package it up and finalise it. And then it's the go button, right? They secure finance or they have the finance sorted. And then we go straight into production. So we take the deposit and we go through that journey. And what that journey looks like is, we take the deposit, they get a welcome onboarding situation, they get their own project manager that, helps them from start to finish. The first 7 to 10 days, we're finalising and tweaking any final designs based on the quote. And then from that point onwards, it's just a journey of getting the council approval where we do that in the background. And then we'll just send them notifications along that journey over 8 to 10 weeks. And then that 8 to 10 weeks, we get some approvals in place. We get the letter in place of approval pending final inspection. And then we build it all and take it to site. So that can be a journey of 16 to 20 weeks. And what we're hoping to do with this new factory that we're going into next year is we're hoping to bring that down to 12 to 14 and have that consistent no matter how much business we get.
Is it going to be in Brisbane as well, the second one? Because your first plant is your first manufacturing plant is in Brisbane. The second one is going to be in Brisbane as well?
Yeah, so we're just outside of Brisbane. We're in Ipswich, just outside of Rosewood. I played it very safe. I wanted to, because we all know construction is challenging in the climate at the moment. We all know builders are going broke all over the place because they're not managing their money well. So we played it very safe. Like we grew 75% every year for the last 3 years, right? So it's been hectic. 550 projects done in commercial and residential, about 150 to 180 roughly. I've got to count because we do about 1 or 2 a week, so I'm losing count every week, but about 150 to 180 in the last 2 years of granny flats built on site. And for us, like, we had to play it safe. So we bought 40 acres of land outside of town, cheaper, a little bit further out, but then we put 6,000 square meters of hard stand on it and we manufactured like that. But that was a stepping stone. So now we're going to a factory that's 3 times the size, all undercover, perfect concrete hard stand, and it allows us. We're going to think about running a 24-hour shift. We've got 22 staff plus contractors. We're a decent sized organisation. We're very, very happy and proud of where we're sitting. So we know we can offer something great. And it also comes to your values and my values or the client's values. Right? Like, we love to help people get ahead in life. You're in that business for that, and I'm in that too. We have other clients. Obviously, the other passion of mine is to help people just be housing their family members, which is important to me. So yeah, that's kind of what we're up to and what we're doing right now. Though I'm crafting out those designs and that I suppose that journey even better for the investors, because I'm an investor myself. I've got property. I'm building my own speckies, putting granny flats on my own properties. And I know what I want, and my standards are high with who I want to deal with and how that value aligns. So I'm building out this journey as we speak in regards to how it's different from treating, mums and dads and the kids going into the granny flat as opposed to the investors.
And when it comes to the site preparation, like might be they do have a tree in the backyard which you need to remove before putting any sort of granny or any sort of a proper house over there. So do you do that stuff as well? Do you manage that stuff as well, like site preparation?
Yeah, we do. We can. Like, some of our clients just prefer to do it themselves because they may know someone or they know the area better than us, because sometimes the people on the ground know the people locally better than us, and they can do it far better than us. So sometimes they'll handle the tree lopping, and we encourage them to ring up Energex or Urban Utilities to create their new accounts for their new electrical board and their new water main. We'll connect it, but they start that process. So each client's different. We talk through what they want. So if we're doing it, we'll do it. If they're doing it, we just make that a note on the contract.
Makes sense. And do you have them any typical example which you benefited any investors in a dollar value, like before granny they were like having that much return, and after putting a granny in the backyard or even like anywhere in the block, they increase the yield by X amount. So do you have any sort of example in terms of numbers?
Well, because we've been so busy with our growth, I haven't collected the examples. We are in that process now, collecting examples. We've got lots of great testimonials, but we don't have the numbers. But I know, like, doing basic numbers, that if we were to get a revaluation on some of those blocks, you could see a 20 to 30% increase in equity value. And when you compare that, say it's a $800,000 block, and let's just keep it conservative. It's the 20%. It's a lower number from the stats that they're releasing online. It's 160, and we put something on there for 120. Then you've got a $40,000 uplift, and then they're also getting a rental return that far outweighs the repayment of 120,000. Because 120,000 with today's, I guess, interest rate would be probably around the 800, 900 I guess, on a higher interest.
That's right.
So, so it's worth it when they're getting 350, 300, 400, 450. Some of them are getting 450 or even 500, which is insane for that granny flat.
And you serve pretty much in all states in Australia, or you are specifically focusing in New South Wales, Queensland, and Victoria at the moment?
No, at the present moment, we focus heavily on Queensland and a little bit in New South Wales, but that will change next year. We are working on that. That was the whole point of getting the bigger factory. We're looking at logistics partnerships now that can assist us go down there affordably. Because the funny thing is because I decided to take all the calls to all the business for a long, long time now, I learned a lot about the market, which allowed me to then, product-based, service-based fits the market. If you're listening, right? I don't think a lot of people do that very well.
Yep.
But what was interesting to me, what I learned was we can have a factory, say, based in Brisbane, and we can service all the way up the southeast coast, and we'll go as far as Mount Isa and Cairns. And Cairns is the same distance as Melbourne, pretty much.
That's right.
Where we are. And we do that quite regularly. But what was interesting about it was we can fly our guys in, hire a car, hire a digger instead of using our own equipment, obviously, because we got our own gear and site teams, and do it cheaper than a lot of local guys.
Yep.
However, we still check if local guys can do it. But like I said before, if we ring people in a certain area, whether it's regional or in the city, and we don't get good vibes, and we don't get good service, and we don't get good quotes, we don't expose our clients to that.
Yep.
Because we all know what construction is like. We've got an idea in our head. We've experienced it. It is a little negative, the industry. Like, it is very, you get on the phone with the builder and the builder's rude, he's busy, or he doesn't have time for you, he'll quote you in a couple of weeks, or he doesn't care. Like, not everyone. I'm not saying everyone, but it is a very high percentage, right?
That's right.
So we've found we can do that. So the point is that if we can do that well, and we set that up even better than what we do it now, because we're bouncing to Townsville, we're bouncing to Cairns nearly every maybe 4 weeks at the moment. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We can do that in Melbourne. And the only thing that we have to do better is find those logistics companies that are already traveling up and down the coastline and backload freight agreements. That works extremely well. So say, for example, it costs, not that it matters because our price point's good, but $15,000 to get a big building shipped from where we are to Cairns, similar distance from Melbourne. But if we do a deal with a company going back and forwards using that truck, we can sometimes get that for 8 or 9. That makes it extremely high value.
Yeah, it is a day and night difference, and I think it is a better way to do the things to make the foundation first before you grow exponentially in different space.
That's right.
This is very good approach, and thank you very much for answering all the questions, and Tim. How competitive your prices are as compared to your competition, because you are manufacturing in Australia, and there I know because there are some companies might they bringing some cheap stuff from China. So how competitive your prices as compared to your competitors?
Well, look, if we talk about competitive pricing against other things built in Australia, from what I'm told from clients regularly, is that a lot of our pricing is like 20, 30, 40, or even 50% cheaper than the competitors because they're using standard construction techniques, right?
Yeah.
Now, does it look different? Yes, it looks a bit different. But at the end of the day, you can't get a return on your money if you're spending that type of value extra. So that's that side of the fence. And what's going to happen really soon is something really cool for us. We're having a meeting in December, just a little bit off topic, but very relevant. We're having a meeting in December with a guy that specialized in bringing in materials for the big builders in the country from the highest quality factories in China. So that'll allow us to then look at our product and even provide more value and higher fixtures and fittings. So that's happening from December onwards. That's exciting for us because I've been dealing with Chinese companies for a long time with materials, right? And as we know, everything comes from that China, Taiwan, steel comes from Taiwan. Like when I buy my steel from Australia, the tag says from Taiwan. So, anyone that's nervous about that, don't be, because end of the day, it's part of life now. We all know
that's
that.
Right.
But, you know, that's going to be great for us when we do that partnership. He starts hunting down this stuff for us, and then that will cut out the middleman. So what that does is that provides more margin for us, better quality for the clients, even, and then all of a sudden we're providing the same product as traditional manufacturers, or construction people in Australia. And then, you know, we're blowing them away. That's buying power, right? So that's the thing we're working on. But to go back to the Chinese stuff, look, I have always been an advocate for bringing in product from China because we know they've got huge capabilities. However, in a lot of states, especially in Queensland, a lot of these products that people are bringing in, there's a lot of really, really bad operators that are putting in buildings that are full Chinese. Some of them are getting certified, and some are nowhere going to get certified. And I think the other thing is too, whenever someone's looking at that cheaper option, you really got to know, are they providing you the warranty terms under the legislation? Are they able to support that? Do they have site teams themselves, or are they using contractors? You know, what does that all look like? And I think sometimes you've got to go and view the product to make your own decision. So sometimes people will come to us and they'll like our product, but they want a premium. So they'll go and pay for a premium. And that's totally fine. And then others come to us and they can't afford us and they want to go to that cheaper option. Will we launch a real cheaper option for that situation? Yes, we will, only if it came from China or whatever. Only if it's compliant, only if it's high quality, only if it lasts, and only if it gives you a good valuation. Because banks, as you would know, banks hate those imported ones, whether they're certified or not. They hate them because they come in a container, they open up, they all look similar. Yes, they might be high quality, and yes, they might not leak, and they might be great, but banks don't seem to like them. So they won't value it as high.
Makes sense. And another question that I would like to ask, because every business has their own USP. So our business USP is that we don't stop holding the hands of our clients after the settlement. So we do a lot of data crunching for the clients, and we let them know what can be the best time to buy in the market and what is the good time to exit the market, how they can increase their profits, and we can discuss different strategies with them. So this is our USP. And apart from that, so if it comes to your business, what is your USP? So because definitely you are providing very affordable solutions to the investors. Secondly, you do 98% manufacturing offsite, and you do only 2% work on site, which is really great, and which is very hassle free for the investors.
You answered.
So I can understand that. Apart from that, is it anything that I'm missing?
I think we've already covered it. Like, you know, from first inquiry to booking a call to getting a quote, that is a pretty seamless experience. And we're going to continue working on that, continue adding value. I've always been a person of continual improvement. Perfection you never really get perfect perfection because you're always continually improving. You're always like, oh, that could work better, or that could be better, or imagine if we provided that on the building. We're always striving for better. I think the best thing about us is we're so transparent, we're so upfront. We do the work. Our site teams are friendly. We take feedback from after service. We manage defects, and we don't shy away from warranty issues, and we fix it straight away. And every construction person on the planet knows that that when you do construction, there's always defect management on the handover. So that has to be done promptly. Not always, but most times there is, and you do it. You get it done. The second one is if it's warranty and it's important, you get that stuff done immediately. I mean, the good thing about our USP in our buildings is not a lot goes wrong. They're very simple built product. They're not going to rot out with timber. The insulation's not going to absorb water. They're metal, aluminium, and only a little bit of timber trim. The flooring and the chassis rails don't have any bounce in them, and they're well-constructed frames. So for us, it's like pretty robust. So the only time we can get a warranty claim is if an employee does something wrong that we missed during their quality checks. And all that happens for us is we just go fix it. And clients love us because of that.
And I think human errors can happen in any business as far as you are accepting and rectifying it. That's the thing.
That's right.
That's important. Yeah. And
Yeah.
and how many years or months you gave the warranty for to the clients?
Pardon, what was that question?
So for how many months or years you give warranty for your product?
Well, in Queensland, it's 6.5 years.
Yeah.
I think it's similar in New South Wales and Victoria. I can't remember, but yeah,
All
we
right.
do 6.5 years because that's the standard requirement, and that covers a whole range of things that normal. So yeah, but I mean, yeah,
When I was browsing your website, I found very interesting thing. Second-hand affordable modular houses. Can you please shed some light on this one?
secondhand.
Yeah, modular houses. So are you purchase or sell second-hand modular houses, and how does it work? Can you please shed some light on this one?
It's very rare now. It's
Yeah.
very rare. In the early days, like there was a few more getting around, and people would like give us back, say, home office buildings. They'd be like, would you buy it back? Because we're done with it and would you on sell it? Or even mainly in commercial world, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm finding that not much secondhand stuff comes up. And if it is, it doesn't last long because there is such a crisis in, people trying to find a place to live. So, yeah.
That's right. That's right. It was really informative talk with you, Tim. Thank you very much once again for your time. And it was very informative for me and for the audience, whoever going to listen to this sort of a video. So
Yep.
thank you very much, Tim, once again, and have a good rest of your day. Meet soon.
Thanks, buddy. Talk later.
Thank you very much. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.